Hi, my name is Brendan McDonough, and I'm be talking about my fourth year final project, which is called Censational. Censational is used to visualize both 2D and 3D data that was gathered from cso.ie, which holds the Irish census statistics data. So here we can see the Censational application. As you can see here, the users have the option to choose from a multiple set of data sets, which were all gathered from cso.ie. So for example, I'm going to click on the population data set. So here we can see that the different 2D visualizations are loading first. So you have three different types. There's one here splitting up everything by county. This was generated using d3.js. So you can see all the different counties here are split up into different color variables. The more pronounced the color, or the higher the gradient level, the more live in that area, considering it's a population data set. Here it's done in these two by different local areas, so larger CSV files. So if I go down, click on one of these three links here, so we're currently in 2D, so if I click on the mesh link, I'm brought to this section here. These are generated using Tree.js. I'm going to talk about how that's done more in a minute. You see that these are fully interactable, that a user can zoom in and out on different points. Also by right clicking they can move the visualization itself, or by left clicking and dragging they can then rotate the visualization. So this can be done for all three of them. If I then click on 3D, so then we get the full textured 3D visualizations. So you can see here that Dublin now has height points and color differentiation from other areas, where it's clearly the most dominant county in terms of how many people live there. So if I also can click on these icons here, these save icons, they save the current context of the canvas that these 3D visualizations are shown on as an image. So if I click on this, it'll open it up in a new tab here, which is now an image, so I can save that image anywhere on my local system. So just a little bit about how this is actually made. So we see here from the mesh to the 2D, or from the 2D to the 3D. These 2D visualizations are used and created as black and white versions of them first. So if I click on this here, you can see that this now has a black and white version of that visualization. When I use a command line software known as GDAL, which is a geospatial data format library, which then when used can be taken an image of a chart like this, and take the black and white points and map those as height points. So the black areas will be made to equal 0, white points will be able to use whatever max value was given when converted with the GDAL. So just to show an example of that GDAL code, you can see just here the GDAL. So what it's doing is translating a TIFF file, which is a picture of this chloropet data visualization. It's taking that and transferring it translating it and saving it as one of these .binary files. These .binary files are 16-bit integer files, which are NV files, which save the different height points. So at the current context of the image, the minimum is 0, which is black, and the maximum is 255, which is white, which goes by the RGB values. And we change it to the full unsigned integer value of 65535 for the maximum height point. So then you can get the full scale for the 3D visualizations. There's outsize to a size of 200 by 200, just to keep the images from being too large, so that when the mesh is created, that the Tree.js creates, it's not too large for it to render. So just going back to this for a second, so you can see then the mesh visualizations. The main difference between the mesh ones and the 3D ones is the mesh ones, their material is set to a wireframe when the Tree.js mesh from material is created, and the 3D visualizations, it's set to an image of one of the 2D visualizations that we can see above. So also the other thing to note is that It's also responsively built. It's built using Bootstrap, so the UI itself is responsive. So if I click on population here, now load up this, and now the visualizations are loaded. I can scroll down and see the different visualizations all by local areas, by county. And again, these can be zoomed in, dragged, rotated. So thank you for listening, and thank you for having a look at Censational.